Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a look at a theme loadout inspired by the Norwegian Special Forces. This loadout was suggested a few times by Stock No in my last few videos, so I figure it was about time I gave it a go, and well, it actually made it into a video. I usually take suggestions from the comments when I'm deciding on a theme for these videos, so if you've got an idea for a theme you'd like me to check out, then feel free to let me know. I don't have time to try out every loadout you guys give me, but if it's a good idea, and like Stock No you keep reminding me, then there is a good chance I will give it a go. But anyway, the Special Operations component of the Norwegian military is broken up into two parts, the land-based FSK and the maritime MJK. These Tier 1 units are probably best compared to the US Delta Force and SEALs respectively, and both are equally capable of handling the same sort of missions. Both units originate from special units trained by the British in World War II, which later became the MJK in 1968 and the FSK in 1981. The size and operations of these modern units is highly classified, but what we do know is that they fill the whole spectrum of special operations, including special reconnaissance, direct action, and counter-terrorism. Now, like any Tier 1 unit, the selection process for these units is grueling, and a vast majority of candidates never make it through. For those that are successful though, the training process to become a Norwegian SOF operator takes a minimum of 2 years, followed by special training in skills like sniping or forward air control. To give you an idea of how demanding the training and selection program is, at some point candidates are required to be hunted by mock enemy force carrying a full load of gear. They also have to endure being captured and interrogated for 36 hours straight, which is enough to break almost anyone, even if it is only a test. In the past few decades, the FSK and the MJK have been deployed to a number of combat zones, including the war in Kosovo and Operation Enduring Freedom. They've served alongside US forces in quite a few of these campaigns, and for exceptional service, both units were awarded the US Presidential Unit Citation. As well as fighting on the ground, the FSK and the MJK are given the task of training other Norwegian units in special skills like airborne operations. Their main role, though, is to respond to high-level international threats, and because of this, they can be called on at a moment's notice for missions almost anywhere in the world. Now, in terms of weapons, well, like just about every SOF unit, the FSK and the MJK rely on the HK416 and variants of the M4. They also use a number of other weapons from the Battlefield series, including the M249, the L115, the MP7, M320 and the Glock 17. In this loadout though, I'm running with the M416 and the Glock 18, as well as the Noob Tube med bags and the M67 frags. All in all, this is pretty much a standard assault loadout, but as you can probably see, I've specifically chosen the attachments for the new Night Operations DLC. The FSK and the MJK usually use aim point optics on their small arms, but as you can see in this loadout, I'm running the night vision scope instead. I'm also running the canted iron sights, the suppressor and the angled grip, which all help complement this scope, which can get a bit clunky from time to time. As for the Glock 18, well, the only attachment I'm running here is the tac light, which would be a fairly obvious choice for SOF units operating at night. Normally the tac light doesn't do a lot in-game, but on these maps you can counter enemy night vision scopes if you get in close enough, and they're dumb enough to go into ADS. Now, as for how this loadout performed in-game, well, like I said, it's a fairly standard all-round assault setup, so with different attachments it would be great for just about any map. On anything but night maps though, you probably would be at a pretty big disadvantage, but on Graveyard Shift it did work quite well. The only problem I found on this map was that quite a few enemy players were running DMR, and unfortunately the M416 doesn't really pack the punch to deal with them. A gun like the Scar H would have been a bit better at countering the DMR spam, but the benefit of the M416 is that it's a bit more consistent in CQB, which helps when you're in on objectives. The last few videos I've made for this series have left me without the Noob Tube, and I've got to say it was a real joy to have a chance to play with it again. Smashing through walls or finishing off an enemy in cover is a big problem for assault players without this gadget, so this was one part of the setup I really enjoyed. If you're veterans of this channel, you know that about now I normally start talking about the 93R, and sure enough, well, I think it would have been a better choice than the G18. The G18 just isn't accurate enough, but that being said, you really don't have to rely on it with a setup like this, and it wasn't like it put me at a huge disadvantage. But anyway, all in all, this was a pretty fun setup to play with, and once I got around the clunkiness of the night vision scope, it was pretty effective too. I'm not sure if the night vision plus canted iron sights combo really gave me an advantage, but it did work well enough to keep up a 3 or 4 KD. I'm assuming most of you guys have got at least a few server stars with all of these guns, but if you're looking for a good loadout specifically for this map, then this will do just fine. It's very rare that the setups in these videos end up being fun, reliable, and realistic at the same time, so for that reason alone, I think it is worth giving a go. But anyway guys, that just about wraps up this video, so let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you want to support my channel on Patreon. And until next time, see you later, and have a good one.